Podcasts, there's plenty. From true crime to comedy, pop culture to politics. Hell, there's even plenty of D&D actual plays out there too. If there's a topic, there's an indie podcast for it. And that's where I step in. Welcome to Dungeons and Podcasts. At DMP, I take your favorite TTRPGs and your favorite indie podcasters, combine them together for everyone to enjoy. So come on, let's roll the dice.
Dungeons and Podcasts is available on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, and Good Pods.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
Hi, I'm Paul, and we are
SP Film Viewers.
a metaphysical, multiverse, galaxy brain head trip. That's what this film is described as.
Yeah, I kind of think we could say that. So we've been a bit kind of doing it backwards way around. This is because Sophie decided to have her 30th birthday and we've been out and about enjoying ourselves. So we've just gone, right, we're not doing the pre-ramble.
I don't even know how I'd really explain what the film kind of synopsis is anyway, because, like I say, it's kind of like going in almost completely blind, other than the fact that I know that this film, everything, everywhere, all at once, it seemed to be really popular. Like, everyone was kind of talking about it, and it was like, you know, don't go in with too much information, just go see it type of.
It's like the Parasite. It kind of was the same thing. Don't go in with
reading up about it,
kind of just enjoy it for what it is. I'll try to.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I've tried to take notes while I've been watching the film.
My head hurts.
So I've only got like a page of like small bits in here and there. So, but I kind of just got immersed in it. But it's I just had to sort of.
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, I literally don't even know where to start. It's trippy. It makes you kind of think and evaluate, which is great. But at the same time, it's like, what the flip? I was going to swear, but I'm trying to be good. Is going on. And it's like, wow. Like, there's so many weird and wacky things in this that just... Whose brain has thought of that? Like, why?
It says a film from Daniels, which I think is meaning like... two brothers, I believe, or something
like last names,
like the Russo brothers, like from like who did Avengers: Infinity War, or like that. Yeah,
but why? Like, why? Certain things that creeped me out, like the hot dog finger thing.
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre.
And then biting it in the mustard was coming out, and I'm like, bleh. I'm surprised you coped with the fact that the foot was stroking somebody's face. Like, you would hate that
in a world where that's a thing that exists. Yeah,
I'd never touch you because you wouldn't want me foot on your face.
No, unless that's all I knew. If we're all in the world and that was the norm. But if I get going into the universe where that was occurring, then yeah, it would be weird. And when I was going through the certain instances with how they do this like first jump or whatever it was called to kind of like go between multiverses and kind of like trigger like some skill or whatever, or kind of make themselves better in that situation. And there's moments where guys like trying to do absolutely crazy things to get this furthest away from a branched universe aspect, and by like, you know, shoving something up their anus, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh god, Sophie's like cringing at this, like, and
it's
this
so
guy
awful.
with this. Obviously, it's blurred out, but even that, I'm thinking, oh my god, she's gonna like what the hell? This
there were parts
like,
I absolutely hated, like literally the weird and most wonderful, wacky crap shit, and some of it I really despised. I'm not gonna lie, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And certain universes, the hot dog finger one flipping creeped me out. But then there was other ones, like when we became a rock, and it was more metaphorical and meant something, I valued that. Like, I appreciated, like, sometimes you do need to just be a rock and watch and survey everything around you.
Yeah.
And have that quiet time. And this is what it's kind of telling you, is like, at the moment we're in a world where everything is going on and everything's quick and immediate and we have to keep up with the times. And I get it. And sometimes you can get lost in your own mind.
Yeah.
I really understand the metaphor of the film.
That's clear from...
Yeah, but there's certain
beginning.
parts that just don't need to be there. Like, they really don't need to be there at all. Like, sticking something up your bum. Even the weird Ratatouille raccoon thing, like, I'm like, what universe are we in? And, yeah, okay.
You could have, that could be, you know, obviously, like, you think of films like, oh, like, again, we've kind of touched on multiverse stuff in other films we've covered this year, in fact, and stuff like, you know, think about what ifs.
Are you trying to tell me something? Are you like that green button thing? Like, are you already there and you're just trying to make me get there? Is that what it is by making me watch all these films?
No, it's not at all, no. But it's interesting to think of, like, why particularly that joke, for example, to pinpoint on, like, Ratatouille controlling like a puppet.
Yeah.
But I guess it's part of the dialogue when she's trying to explain that comes into play, and then obviously, like, it's a continued joke in the film later, is like in a universe where she's pretending to be a chef to do the skills that she can.
I don't appreciate it. I know it's. I understand you think it's linked somehow, but I feel like there's been other films where multi-universes have been done, and they're portrayed in a better manner,
like the Doctor Strange one, the multiverse.
Yeah, and I feel like it makes sense. Like, I appreciated when, she's a famous actress and she's not with him. Them kind of scenes added value to me.
Like what if, like, if I had never been with you and then like learn kung fu and then become a famous kung fu star like Jackie Chan or whatever. Yeah.
And that I kind of appreciate because it's realistic.
Yes,
I can understand it. I can relate to it. Any other scene that is absolutely obscured and bizarre, even the rocks I get, I just don't get any of the other stuff. And it was like, my head just felt like it was going to explode because there was just so much
visualization going on. Yeah.
And some of it was shit, and I was trying to, like, filter it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You know, I don't know if you do that in your head. There's certain things like, right, yeah, I need to pay attention to that. That's valuable. And there's other stuff
again,
you
that's
just
more when the dialogue is there. But if it's something silly going on in the scene, then you kind of just like, tune off. I'm not interested until something's unless you're saying something worthy and interesting. Then it's valid.
We could have shortened this film down.
Yeah, 2 hours 20 minutes.
Too long. We could have shortened it down. You could have got rid of all the shit, all the fodder, all the crap shit, sticking something up your ass, sausage fingers.
This is what we keep coming back to.
These raccoon thing. What else was there? There was another one, I'm sure. I didn't mind the action. That's fine. That can stay.
Yeah, that was well choreographed. Yeah.
Great. Brilliant.
Yeah. Kung fu styling and everything. Yeah.
Loved it. But there was so much stuff that I hated, and it's like, oh, I don't really know how I feel. And this is kind of a clever way because, annoyingly, it's everything and everywhere, and it does do that, and it makes you feel that way. And I don't even know how to rate this or score this because we've literally just watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me ranting about how I feel, and I'm frustrated.
I just love another one that you perfectly like. One of the other scenarios where the actress' name is called Jenny Slate, the one with who's described as big nose.
Oh yes,
and she's
swinging
the dog around and like thinking.
Even the finger one were getting on my nerves after a bit when she got like a little bicep muscle in her finger. She kept pinky.
Yeah.
She kept going boom, and
really?
like
that annoyed you.
Eventually, yeah, because it just kept on going on, and then it was like unrealistically pooming people out of the way. Like, no way.
I know, but it's not meant to be realistic in that sense because it's like you can open up the possibilities in a universe where that is potentially possible.
There were things leading up to that had frustrated me, and then that just grated on me as well. And there was a lot of stuff that grated on me.
But the main underlying story, obviously, is about like the disapproving father of her relationship with her husband.
It shows,
and then the fears of like with her daughter being so, like distant from her, and your grandfather won't understand that you're lesbian and everything, and that kind of all accumulate into the other story, and that's what it's all kind of about, really. It's not.
And that, in a whole, is really solid. And I think sometimes we do get that kind of pressure from everybody else. You're trying to please everybody else and make everything acceptable for everybody, appease somebody, kind of live up to their expectations and standards, and you lose yourself. And I think that it shows that within this film. And I love the fact when she's in the laundry, she's trying to get by. I really can relate, and I really like that story.
Despite being really sad state of affairs, like
It
struggling
is.
with all the finances and everything.
But
That's like
the way that it comes around works really well. And as a whole, if you just minus the shit,
minus the multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
There's something that is just more like a drama there, but
I think the universe helps, but I just don't think it needs to go to that extreme. That's what I'm kind of saying. I like the universe because she learns. And she becomes stronger. But some of the scenarios in the universe are just a bit wacky and wonderful for my liking.
Okay, I can understand that. I absolutely could. I knew, like, seen from clips and stuff like the sausage things, but I didn't think
Why
it
did
was...
you think that was going to be a good idea for me?
I didn't, because I didn't think how strongly that was going to come into play. I thought that was just... Honestly, didn't know like how long we were going to be spending on these scenarios, whether that was just like one scene or like I've seen like a thing with the googly eyes thing.
I that.
I thought that was going to be more an integral part. There was just like a bit where she obviously sticks one on and it's like a third eye that she's kind of like found like I can see things much clearly now, and that's like more at the back end when she's kind of like relieving all the other people of helping them find their inner peace for whatever they want in their lives, really. And that's like that's good. I like that aspect of.
I do, and I think it shows all you need is love. The Beatles knew it. Everybody knows it's right.
Yeah, there's always something to love. She kind of points out.
Yeah, and it's true. It really is, and that's why I'm kind of torn, because within this film there is things you love, but there is your worst parts in this film as well. It's two things, like Evelyn is living her worst life. Like, she's the shit of the Evelyns. Like, she's like the lowest you can get.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got actresses, martial arts and all of this and the high up.
Chef, yeah.
But they've already reached their level. Whereas Evelyn, she's got so much room to grow and level up, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to think if you reflect on your own life, like anyone can do this right now, to see where you're at, like what level, like in a game.
Take a step back and go, like, what am I fulfilling my best potential? Is there something that I can do to improve myself? It doesn't need to be anything that I need to improve myself if I'm feeling like really low.
I think if you're obnoxious and you think you're at your highest level, then there's always room for improvements.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think nobody ever thinks that.
Yeah.
But if you're at your lowest of your low, then how can you get any lower? You can only get higher. And this is why I'm so flipping torn with this film, because her husband wants to divorce her. She's going through like bankruptcy with her laundry like business. Her daughter's a lesbian. Her father put so much...
That's the problem.
But it is in that culture.
Yeah.
To explain to her father, like, who is really kind of
set in his old ways.
Yeah. And parentingship in this kind of culture as well is very much do as I say, where it's like these rules and regulations are set out for you and this is the expectation. And it just, you get all of this kind of feel for that character. You really want Evelyn to do well within the story. And I think she does come out at the lighter end of the tunnel and you see the growth of a character, which
is what you want from a story, obviously.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Although you did think partway through but I knew like we've got ages to go yet because I checked.
You knew how long it was though.
Yeah,
I didn't know how long it was. You didn't tell me nothing. And
it was like literally like an end credits thing came up, and you're like, "What the hell?" Like I don't understand. Like how could it end that way? And then it's obviously like, no, well, wait a minute. I think it's gonna pan out and be like on the screen or something. It's like. And it was like, it's like the screening.
Split it into parts. So you had like part one, which you didn't know were part one until it pretends it ends. But obviously it's a film showing the film ending.
Yeah.
But not whilst actually ending. She's just watching her own premiere.
Her own story play out almost, yeah.
And then you've got part two that ends and then you go into part three and you're like, no more. No parts. Like, Like, literally. But part 3 is really tiny, which is I'm
Again,
grateful.
like an epilogue, yeah.
Because it's like, I couldn't, like, literally, I would get into a point of, I'm done. I want this movie to end now because my head's hurting. Even the fact that it had the Christmas with the Crank Lady in, like...
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah, again. Yeah. Deirdre. Yeah.
I hated her. She was annoying in every role. Like, okay, yeah, she kind of did a little bit of a circle on the main story and kind of gave them a week extra because she felt for him, but then really you're not doing your job right because you shouldn't be...
Is that realistic? They're like, okay, I'll let you.
Oh, we'll just let you off with your taxes, I don't think that would happen.
Give you another chance of another chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. That seems a bit weird even for that portrayal of...
I do like the idea of the fact that her daughter is quite self-consumed with everything that's going on and she just feel like she's really badly done to. Obviously, she's got a lot of things going, like coming out to her parents, which probably is really difficult in any culture, but obviously with a really strict background as well. And she kind of puts everything on a bagel.
Yeah, I know that sounds weird in the concept of itself.
I would put everything on a pizza.
There's no holes in it.
There's no holes.
Yeah.
So you can't drop through. But it's like a mind cleanse, like everything that happens to you, just put it out and nothing matters. I think it's a weird kind of concept to put out there. I think things do matter.
Everything matters in some way.
Because it's one of those things. It's like playing a game like, for example, The Walking Dead. Any decision you make in life...
Or in that game.
But it's still in life.
Yeah.
I do believe in a multi-universe. Like, there probably is another me and you.
Like, like I said, we've touched on this before, like how, like in a different timeline, I'd be other sides of the country or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might not have ever met.
I might be an amazing, famous worldwide photographer going out and photographing
wildlife and whatever, yeah.
And you come along and I'm like, and you could be amazing YouTuber or something without me and we won't be doing SP. God forbid.
Imagine a universe without that.
I know. Oh, imagine the films I wouldn't have to see. I wouldn't seek this out on my own.
No, I know you wouldn't, but I mean, to be honest, in terms of, I mean, it's good in certain like hype status. This is, I don't see like it's obviously on a first watch.
I'm not watching again.
But I don't think it was like, whoa, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, ever.
It's more like the shittest thing I've ever seen.
No, it's not. It's not quite that.
It's not Borat, but it's still. I would rather watch that one where he went into a suitcase. I forgot what it's called.
Old Boy.
Yeah, I think I prefer to. I actually think I'd prefer to see that again.
You can't really compare.
No, because that really tripped with my mind, and now I think actually that is a really good tripping mind one, and I think that's more solid, and I probably want to rewatch that over this 100%, no brainer.
I mean, Old Boy is fantastic, even if you've only seen it once and be like, oh my god, that's the twist. Really, it's shocking, but it still would be kind of like you think over all the scenario with that. Now, when again back to what people have said about it, and they're saying like, yes, there are emotional bits in it. Obviously, I think more at the back end when they're kind of like hugging it out and like realize
I felt it a bit, yeah, definitely,
yeah, and like you'll cry and it's like. It's weird. It's weird for me because I normally am like really like with like family relationships in that regard, like parent and daughter, son, whatever. Really, those kind of moments. But I don't know if is more down to like if it's emotional music playing in the background that kind of helps stimulate that, or whatever it was. But yeah, sure, it was. I was waiting for like the big like tear-jerking moments to come from that, but it didn't quite hit me that way for whatever reason. Maybe of a different time watching it,
it
might
for me. So
a little bit. But is that because it's the mother and daughter aspect of? But even though you're not rebellious,
I'm not. Me and my mum get on really well.
Yeah.
I think it was more just seeing how much her mother would want to do for her. Mm-hmm. She would do anything, and she loves her no matter what. And I think even though she was being harsh to her, it was always for an endearing kind of loving nature.
Yeah, saying like you need to lose weight, and it's like, yeah, that's not for it's not the best thing to
Well,
say.
your
to
mum's gone, oh, Winnie the Pooh at times to you, which I did think was a bit mean. I feel like I would never say that to anyone. But yeah,
No, but
yeah,
not when you're a teenager.
No,
because that's when you are like very self-conscious of yourself, aren't you? Really, in that.
Well, my mum should have probably told me I needed to lose weight, and she never did. Bless her.
Yeah. I did find, particularly at the beginning, there was like hints of like the Matrix, in where you like Neo, Mr. Anderson, like in this world, and like not completely understanding. Like, oh, right, you've got to be, like be on an earpiece and everything. It's like he's coming for you, like Deirdre, Jamie Lee Curtis, when she's kind of like roaming around the office. Cubicle blocks. I think that's probably what that stems from as well, because it's a bit like when in the first Matrix where that happened, where he's kind of like, oh, got to be mindful and get across the room and everything.
Yeah,
like that. So that was playing in my mind a little bit.
I can see where you're coming from, but the Matrix is way better.
Oh, absolutely,
no brainer.
Yeah.
It is just
the first one.
It works so much. The story is more cohesive. It is more fluid, and it does make you think. And I think this could be brilliant in its own right. It does have your tear-jerking moments. It does. I felt it when the Rock even went after the Rock rolling with the googly eyes. Even though they tried to make it comical, I still felt it with the mum following her and shifting towards her. It worked really well. I really liked the fact that they did go into the Rock's place and you had subtitles.
Yeah.
Something different that I hadn't seen.
Yeah, right. I can definitely say I've never seen two rocks having a conversation.
But it was so still and quiet that it made your mind feel like that prior to all the chaos.
Yes.
They'd just given.
Yeah.
There is some really clever ways of working it.
In a way that makes you think, yeah.
And I think it works in a whole, but I think there's a lot of things. It's like Marmite to me. You either love it or you hate it, and I can't actually decide if I love it or hate it.
But there's two sides. Like you said, there's some bits that you love, so it's kind of like the initial taste of it. You're kind of like, but then it's a bit like a bitter aftertaste. Or is it the other way around? It's kind of like
I think the other way around. The ending for me was great.
Yeah,
the way it concluded and everything, I really enjoyed. Just the middle,
right?
Like I like the fact that all you need to do is be kind. It sounds so simple. But it's not. It's not that easy. Like, if someone's being horrible to you, how do you find that kindness in you? It's not easy. But sometimes you have to be the bigger person. And there's so many morals and understandings within it.
Well, I think everybody gives a great performance in terms of conveying that feelings towards you. Like, even, I point out, it was a much older Shorty in this film playing the father. And that, and he's, you kind of feel like he says, "Oh, your father thinks I'm soft and everything," and it's like he's trying to be a nice person to his wife Evelyn. I feel like he's really trying to, make her happy, I guess, and in this, what seems like a very mundane, simple life. There's again, it's like just having those moments where it's being with the person you're with that's the most important, really.
Yeah, the person that you love the most, and I feel like the characters, the way that they did act to each other in certain scenarios was clever. It showed their acting capabilities, really, of being able to be 1 minute like, and then there's something else completely, and like can do martial arts, and like the husband as well, like you're saying, 1 minute he's kind of like this goofball, like kind of a bit of a
like, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand.
And the next is like kung fu fighting and sounds really intelligent, and
he's been taken over, and
switches onto a different mind, and it's clever. It is the way everybody acts and does. It's just this whole merge of wonderfulness where it goes to this like epileptic kind of.
So you should use the word "wonderful" there in a wonderfully weird
and trippy,
but creative.
Yeah, I can't say it's not, but it doesn't mean I like it.
No, I get that. I completely understand that there's elements of this that you wouldn't gravitate to and thinking that was a good idea.
I don't know how I'm going to score this. Yeah. I don't have a clue. Do you have anything else valuable to add? Because I feel like I'm just repeating myself.
It seems like there should be more to sort of say with this, with how long the film is, really. But it was more just, I would say, probably just an experience more than anything.
Yeah.
The closest there was, I mean, obviously they did kind of touch on something that was kind of, well, I'm going to compare it to like another film, I suppose, in a way, and the film has an aspect from that film in it anyway, which is 2001: A Space Odyssey, where that's quite like a thinker of a film, and it's hard, like that's quite hard to dissect, and like without seeing it, you might get something from it that's really profound, or you might go like, "What did I just watch?" type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I think he'd probably be the latter.
No, I'm a bit of both. I really am. Like, I feel like a split personality. Like, I don't know who I am.
And the scene I'm talking about, if you're interested, is when the apes, when they have the sausage fingers, like, you know, that's how they came to be, almost like a thing that they were the dominant race opposed to the normal handed apes. That's how that developed. And it was the music that's from that 2001 film. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else way to explain like any other parallels, so to speak. But I don't know. It's kind of something you just have to watch and see for yourself if you're going to like it, I guess, is what I say to people.
I couldn't tell you if somebody would like it or not.
No. It's not like a hard sell, like, oh, don't watch this at all. They might get something out of it completely different, like they might think this is the best film of the year or whatever.
Well, that's why we have so many different films, isn't it, out there? Like, because everybody is different. And I think this shows that in this film, that anyone can be whatever they want to be. And it does say that we can do whatever we want, nothing matters. Mm-hmm. And in a sense, you can take that reckless mindset.
Yeah.
I think my only gripe is matter in a sense. There is always a consequence or a conclusion of something.
You can't just do whatever you want.
There will be an outcome of it.
Yeah.
So,
for good or worse.
Yeah. That's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
But it does make you think. It really does kind of open your mind up to trying to find inner peace within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I value all of those because sometimes you do feel like you're off balance in life, and I feel like I've bought a book, haven't I? What's it called? Wasabi.
No, not wasabi.
Wasabi with what is it? I'm hoping it's like Mr. Miyagi talking to me. So it's called Wabi Sabi. I haven't read it yet. But it's a Japanese kind of culture where it's trying to find perfectness in imperfections.
Yeah, so like a self-help book,
yeah.
I think it will be. Yeah.
And I think this is kind of what this film is a little bit. Without it realising, it looks like a self-help book in a wacky, weird way.
Yeah.
That it is making you look at your inner self, like, of what would your life be?
If I did this career path, or...
if I made this choice...
I went with this person, yeah.
Because it is all to do with choices, like, obviously you saw Evelyn without her husband being very successful, but...
was she happy?
That's another matter.
There's all those aspects to it, isn't it? Yeah. So it's finding what's best for you in your lifetime. Just embrace it and try to be the best you can be, I suppose, is what the film's trying to go for. But I think that's all I can really say.
Do you know what?
Go on, what?
You've got to go first.
Yeah, I do.
Because neither one of us seen this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we've really done a bodge job of this one, but neither one of us seen this film. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's why it's always a rubbish film, because Paul hasn't vetted it before I see it. And we seem to be going on down a downward hill of these films that neither one of us have seen. But the ironicness is he's got to go first for scoring.
I wouldn't say it's ironic, really, in this
And
scenario.
I like the fact that you've got to go first because it gives me more time to think. You help me reflect a little bit.
I suppose, yeah, but I'm wondering what you're going to score this, to be honest.
I don't even know yet, Paul.
Okay. But I think, in all honesty, glad I've seen it.
Would you see it again?
Yeah, to get more out of the visuals that's going on with it. I say there's, in terms of what the story's trying to explain, in the roundabout way of the simplest terms, then I get that. It's not like, oh, I don't understand what that was all about. It's just like all the stuff that's in between. If there's more like hidden meanings to why there's like a reasoning behind such things.
I feel like that was a personal dig at me there.
No.
All
Right.
I was going to say, also you'll be watching it on your own again, just to like clarify that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it at 8.5.
Why? I don't feel like you've justified it enough. Come on.
No, like, visually interesting. It's a great way of kind of delving into what the film is trying to go for, but there's a lot of creativity that's put into it, and that's what I appreciate it, despite how oddball it is.
Also the penises.
The dildos, you mean?
Yeah.
Like a flashback there of the
Yeah.
going on. Just realised.
Still 8.5. Creative visuals while she's whapping around dildos and smacking everybody in the faces with them. Sorry.
No. I think it might have been lengthy. Yeah, probably. You could have maybe just rounded it to 2 hours. Maybe a little bit less, really, to tell the story. But I think it just on a very first watch, it was an experience, and probably not something I'd come back to straight away.
Gotta watch it tomorrow, Paul.
Breathing room. No, another one thing, but I think there's valuable stuff in there. It's certainly in the message that it's going for, and despite some of the flaws it has, I think there's more enjoyment to come back to it, but probably just by myself, I think.
Okay, valid points. Valid. Thank you for digging
Wonder-
deeper. Obviously, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll recap them because you've kind of covered it, most of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will say it is too long and it hurts your head. And if you want an easy breezy film, do not put this on because it's not.
Also, you have some subtitles here and there.
You do.
Yeah, so
mostly English, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
And some rock reading.
Yeah, but that's not that was a problem, being in Chinese. Yeah.
No, not an issue at all. That didn't bother me. I enjoyed the culture, I enjoyed the aspect of it, I enjoyed the main morals behind the story. It is feeling like a little bit like a self-help kind of moral perspective, but I can't forgive the
some aspects of it.
Weird and wacky and absolutely somebody must have been as high as a kite to think of certain things and think that was like a good idea.
So,
Do I want to watch it again? Never.
Okay. Wow. Pretty blunt.
Do I hate it? No, but I wouldn't invest 2 hours and 20 minutes in it again.
Okay, so it's one of those films that, like,
I've seen it.
Would you say, are you still glad of the experience, or is that like oh my god, that was
It's
terrible?
not like I absolutely hate the fact that I watched it like Borat, like, oh my god, I've wasted my time.
Yeah, but it's one and done, basically. You
Yeah,
feel
for
like.
me.
Yeah, okay. So, scores? Based on what seems to be the one and only time that you'll see it.
I'm so sorry. This is a generous 5.
That's generous. Gee, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's only because of the moral of the story. It could be a 6, but they'd have to remove certain scenes.
Okay. Yeah.
For it to be a 6. It downgraded with the fact of what we've already discussed.
But I love how that's a few scenes would only bump it to a 6 as opposed to...
Because the scenes that I hate, only if you remove those out, it's still wacky and trippy and it hurts your head and it flashes back and you're like, where the hell am I now?
You like her, you at the beginning, you're really confused as to what's...
I did say that to you halfway through where I'm like, I am so confused. And I watch films to enjoy them. I don't really think I enjoyed this. I felt left with my head hurting and confused and a little bit of a moral given to me. Sorry, folks.
So it's not Sophie's Film of the Year.
No. And to be fair, this is going to be one of the last reviews for a little while, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. We're having a little break.
Not from each other, just so that you know, we're still together.
Yeah.
We're still...
But we are obviously coming closer and closer to that date that is the wedding.
Yeah.
So there's obviously time needs to be spent preparing for the finer details with that
Yeah.
and everything. So much it pains me, we're not covering any Halloween films this year.
Play the smallest violin ever.
Yeah. So I think we'll be back.
Around November time?
Yeah, beginning of November. Yeah, after we've come back from honeymoon.
Don't worry, we'll have enough Christmas just to cram in. We will.
Yeah.
No Halloween this year.
So at least
Sophie's year.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, you'll probably make me watch something. Just we won't record it. Like there will be some
Oh, yeah,
shite
yeah.
that you'll put me through.
Maybe,
don't worry, there will be.
Yeah. Not going to that easy.
No, probably
When
won't.
I've recorded this all. Yeah.
Still be having
Off the
nightmares.
books. Yeah. So that's if we've got. I say we've got a moment to be doing that because, like I say, we've got busy weekends and. Such.
Yeah, it just feels like it's going to fly now. It's only a month away.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, thank you for listening to this episode. And if you would like to check out some of our other episodes, you can do so over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you might get your podcasts from.
And even though we won't be doing any other kind of for a month, you can still follow us. We'll probably be posting stuff on social media, so
absolutely.
don't forget about us. We're not disappearing off the planet.
Yeah, still be around, yeah.
Exactly. And if you haven't followed us already, you can do that on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, under the handle SP_filmviewers.
Yep, and in the interim, if you would like to leave us a 5-star review on any other episodes from the back catalogue you haven't heard, and thinking, wow, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life, then please do consider giving us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and wherever else they do the scoring system.
And if you want to wish us good luck or anything like that for our big day, then by all means that is also welcome as well.
Yeah.
So it will be at the end of October that we're getting wed, and Paul will be officially mine.
My precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why
you got
you
a
really
ring and everything.
Yeah, I don't know why you want to marry me, really, bless you. I don't like watching films.
Well, all that being said, thank you very much for listening, and we will speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you for listening as well, and all the support that you've given us, and we will be back, don't worry.
Yeah, don't you worry. Yeah, so speak to you next time.
Bye! Bye bye!
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 Bye!